Hey guys, Jake here, and today I'm bringing you a video on how to build everything in the zombie map Transit in Black Ops 2. If you'd like to skip along to other parts of the video, and other things that are built, there will be times linked to those in the description. Either way, the first item being built is the wind turbine. You go ahead and grab this mannequin and go ahead and install it right here at this table. The closest part to you right now is actually directly behind you in this chair. I believe I have my party member, Killer Lowrider, pick it up, and again he goes to the table and installs it as well. The third and final part of the wind turbine is right over here, and it's this little fin. Either way, pick it up and install it, and there you go. You've already built your very first part in Black Ops 2 Zombies. But of course, for people who've played Transit, I'm sure you know how to build this. I just wanted to make sure I covered everything in the map. Either way, the next item we're building is the zombie shield. Now this little, it looks like a broken dolly, I'm not exactly sure, can spawn obviously right there and along the whole edge of this restaurant, so be sure to scour it a little bit. Either way, after picking up that part, run into this building, and the workbench is actually directly back, and it's kind of on the left hand side of this room, right there where Goblin ran. And while I'm building this, big thanks to Goblin and Lowrider, and I don't remember the last person who helped, but I will thank you at the end. Either way, the other item you want to pick up is the door, and after adding that to that part, you have your zombie shield. Now this is pretty unique, just because as you have it on your back, zombies who hit you in the back obviously doesn't register. It's just like a riot shield. And as a little demonstration, I fling the zombies. So there's that. The next item will be the zombie turret. This one, again, as with all parts in this, how to build everything in Transit, if they don't spawn in the exact area you see me get it from, such as this ammo box, just look around in that general area and you will find it. You just have to have a keen eye and you have to be willing to search a little bit. Either way, running up the stairs into the right hand side, I believe, well, I thought it was a shotgun, but that makes no sense because it's a turret and it looks like a machine gun, so we're gonna say machine gun, and then you just go ahead and run back and add it to the table as well. And the zombie turret has three parts, this being the third part that I'm going to be grabbing here momentarily. And again, this can spawn all around the outside of the house, so you just got to look around, and this time it is a lawnmower. And I couldn't see it, but there it is. And that's the last part of the zombie turret. After installing it, Goblin informed me that you actually have to have the wind turbine behind it to power the turret, and it works just like a sentry gun for zombies. Now, as a demonstration again, we run outside and they put a wind turbine behind it, so you do need to put this. Either way, when you do put it down, it kind of rotates left to right, I should say. But okay, now that we have the wind turbine down and that, as you see, it says you need a source of power. It's active, and if you stand in front of it, you will die. Either way, here's the first part of the bus, and now if it doesn't spawn right, this room is actually right out of the right hand side of the very first room you spawn in. Either way, if the part isn't in there, you do need to continue looking at other parts of the map, because if it doesn't spawn there, it'll spawn at the next area in the town. And so there is the first part, that way zombies cannot jump in the front of the window. Moving on, just go right into this room. This is also in the town, the first stop on the bus from the station. And then you pick up this part and just go ahead and run in. And this one I had a little trouble installing, because this is actually the very first time I've done it, and that's why I'm saying big thanks to Goblin, because it was a lot of time in editing for this. But either way, all you have to do is just jump, hold square or X on the Xbox, and you will install it. After doing this, you can go ahead and jump up on top of the bus, and also there's another little special thing you can do with this piece. Instead of doing it on the bus, you can take it back into the diner, and that's shown later in the video, so I will have that in the description. Moving on, the third and final piece is the ladder, not the saws. I was a little sidetracked. There we go. I pick up the ladder, and now I'm taking it to the bus, and you just go around it's the left hand side of the bus if you're looking at it from the rear end, and the right hand side if you're looking at it from the front, and you just go ahead and install it and you can climb right up. The screen lagged a little bit because, like I said, this was the first time I actually finished the bus, and yeah, it was kind of exciting. Well, moving on, this is going to be how to turn on the power. Walking in, the panel can spawn right on your left, it can also spawn on your right, and it can also spawn in the room where you install it. I believe that's coming up right about now, but anyways, you follow that curve around just like this, run up in the room, and the bench is directly in front of you. Like I said though, all the benches that are extremely white can have parts spawning on them, because I did this a second time, and they were all everywhere else, but they can also be around the edge of all of these fences, so be sure to check around the edge like that, because this is the second part, and to turn on the power there are 3 parts. And I've actually had this same 3 pronged part pop up on one of the benches in here as well. So like I said, just go ahead and check that out, and if it's not in this room, check out these spots I showed you as well, and just along the entire fence and boxes. So that's about all I can say with this. Now after you do turn the power on, there's a man, an electric man, and he starts following you around after you turn on the power. You can take him out with an EMP grenade, and there's also Galva Knuckles. I don't know if the Galva Knuckles make him disappear forever, but I know the EMP grenade does. But after turning on the power, obviously all the perks are on, and you know, you're good to go. But after the power, we are moving on to a zombie trap. It is portable, so you can put it in any doorway you want. I don't know if it'd be as effective just out in the open unless you ran a zombie train kind of through it. But if you run through it, you do die. So that's generally not a good idea. But you must have the power on to build this part, because it's right inside of when you go into the power room, it's the door that's going to be locked up until you turn the power on, and the parts can spawn all over the room, so be sure to check corners and even down. Well, I don't know if I'll be able to show you the area now, but just there's a little area we can fall down into. Be sure to check that out as well. It's literally the part I'm jumping over, but if you look down carefully, you're able to pick up the parts real gentle. That sounds kind of weird, but it still gets the point across. After installing this last part, we do have this little portable zombie trap, and it's like I said, it's pretty helpful. And I believe I have a little demonstration coming up. Yeah, so no, actually I don't. So once you stop, this is after the power stop. I'm just calling it the bank area. Just throw a grenade at this wall and opens the vault, and you can deposit money for the next game. Right here it's deposit. You can deposit it in amounts of 1,000, and on the left hand side you can withdraw money, so that's pretty helpful as well. But moving on, we are building the wonder weapon. Now this is by far the most difficult thing to build in Transit. First, what I'm doing is of course keeping the last zombie, but leaving from farm, so the second stop in the bus, you need to start looking out this window, or any window or door, for a cornfield. There's a separation in it, and you need to take it. Okay, and that's coming up very shortly. And okay, there it is right now. So just go ahead and jump out and start running. Now I have no idea what these zombies are called, but I'm just going to call them the ones that jump up and scratch your face and piss me off, because making this video really wasn't that bad, except for dealing with those. They were just so frustrating to have you, just tearing up your face the whole time. Anyways, as you're running through this cornfield, the very first right you can take, be sure to take it, and that's right here. So after getting in there, I do pick up a radio on accident, which I believe is for the music, and that's right here. And generally the handlebars, the first, part of the wonder weapon, will not spawn on this side. I'm not going to say it never does, because the game, changes sometimes. But right here, the handlebars will spawn, and this has been the most common area for me. But I just wanted to show you that the handlebars can also spawn up here and along the walls, so be sure to just, again, kind of look everywhere if you can't find it. But after that, you need to go back to where the bank is. It's the stop after the power room, and just go into the bar, which is across the street from the bank, and this is the first part for the wonder weapon. Now moving on, you need to go ahead and go back to the main station. We're going to call this, I guess, see, the town I was calling it the first stop, so we're going to just call the main station the fifth stop because it's after the bank. But what I do is, obviously I'm entertaining the zombie, which is very frustrating. I'm just kind of pacing back and forth on this bus, but once you get into this little tunnel, which see now we're in because you can see it on the wall, you need to look out for a blue gun on the wall, and it's going to be the M16. This is where the second part spawns, and it's the jet engine. And there it is. I saw it, and see, right there's the wall, and I got lucky. The jet engine was right here in the open. Now I'm going to show you some other spots. It can spawn here, and it can also spawn on the direct other end along the wall as well where I'm running, so it can spawn there. It can even spawn in between these cars, those cars as well, and even past this lava. So I had it spawn for me right here where I'm pointing as well, and over there. So you just gotta, again, search the general area and go ahead and try to catch back up to the bus while it's in the town with the cafe where we built the zombie shield, and just go ahead and go back to the bar and add the part. Now 2 parts down, we have 2 more to go. But in this time, go ahead and exit the bar to the right, and this just go ahead and run through this little dust because you have to find a small cabin, and the bus does not stop there. But when you leave the town, we'll call it the bank, even though it is the bar, stay the left hand side by all these rocks and just keep them as your guide, and eventually you will run right into the cabin. So that should be coming up shortly. Again, these guys scratching my face, very frustrating, and should be coming up shortly. Again, I'm just staying left. I'm following the rocks and the trees. Obviously if you can't run through the rocks, just kind of go around it, but again, just stay left. And here we are, we're at the cabin. It's just, this is like a little dial, and for some reason I decided to look on the bed because it was right in front of me, and there was the dial. But it can also spawn, I've seen it spawn on this table and inside the fireplace, but I'm just going to say to look everywhere just in case it doesn't spawn in one of those 3 places. And obviously when you're running back, and since you ran there from the left, go ahead and get back to town by running there to the right, which is just, you know, this is just a demonstration again as well. Maybe if you're lost, you can, you know, use this as your bearings, because I did get lost, especially after being at the Nocturne Toten with the handlebars. It was pretty frustrating getting out of there. But anyways, after getting past this car, I believe I'm pretty close to being in town. And yeah, here we go. I'm back at the bank, and right across the street from the bank is the bar. So this is the 3rd piece. When I was building it, for some reason I thought this was the last part, but of course I was wrong. Here comes the 4th piece. Again, you have to be in the power room. Go ahead and run over where you built the portable zombie trap, and it usually spawns right in that area where I was just looking. But again, check everywhere, corners like that, and I got lucky, and right here's the last piece of the wonder weapon, the wiring. So after acquiring the wire, I made my way back to the bar, and I am finishing up the wonder weapon. I was very excited to have it, and now I'm actually going to make another video. You'll see on what in a second. Now when I use it, because I've never used the wonder weapon before, I'm just thinking that, you know, it's pretty cool, it's pretty badass, you know. But as you can see, that one dial is not going down after you shoot. And watch what happens right here. I'm like, you know, I'm going to tear the zombie up with this wonder weapon, and right as I get to him, it explodes. Now you see it said to grab the part. The gun fell into pieces. You have to pick him back up and rebuild it. Lucky thing is, all the pieces are right at your feet. Either way, I'll make a more in-depth video on that. Now, to get the Galvan knuckles, you need to pick up this piece that we used on the bus earlier in the game. You cannot choose to use it on the same thing. You have to choose either Galvan knuckles or the bus. So make sure you choose wisely. Either way, after getting that part of the bus, you need to run over to right here. And again, it's kind of like the bus. Well, this time you actually don't have to jump. Go ahead and put that part in, double X, and it's going to be right behind you. I didn't have enough points at the time, but I played a little bit farther ahead, and I ended up getting enough points. But I just wanted to show you what was up here as well, and it looked like not much of anything. I could have, missed something very small, but I don't believe I did. Either way, after picking up the Galva Knuckles, I decided to try them out. It's definitely stronger than the Bowie knife, gives you 130 points per kill, just like any other melee kill, and they definitely work out very well. I was just messing around to see how far I could get, and I got to round, I think, 8, and then I ended up going down. But they're a lot of fun, so be sure to check it out. Either way, guys, I'm glad to have helped you build literally everything in Transit. If you want to critique me, go ahead. I am always open to constructive criticism, but if it's just, you suck or go kill yourself, well, I mean, that doesn't really help me out. I mean, if you really thought it was that bad, tell me why. But if you enjoyed it, please also let me know too, as well. I mean, either way, guys, thank you for tuning in. This has been Jake, and I am out. Bye, guys.